So the first 3 episodes of Ahsoka have dropped and the results have been less than stellar. While this is a Dave Filoni-led project, it seems to have fallen prey to the same tropes I've harped on in this channel. Putting down men to prop up women, the Mary Sue trope, and constantly breaking the rules established in the Star Wars universe previously. Join me, dear viewer, as I dive deep into the dumpster fire that is Disney Star Wars. It looks like George Lucas's toxic, patriarchal Star Wars has fallen and woke Disney has risen to take its place and fulfill Kathleen Kennedy's master vision of the Force being female. A plot is underway to find the remaining male characters and subvert them as they have so many others. Once they are all subjugated, Disney will set out to destroy the remnants of George Lucas's legacy. And we arrive at the latest in the long path of destruction, Ahsoka. Ahsoka is a character that first appeared in the Clone Wars cartoon way back in 2008, if you can even remember that far back. I've always found Ahsoka to be a pretty interesting character, but Disney has never really done much with her until her titular show. Following some disastrous Disney Plus shows is no easy feat. As I mentioned in several of my prior videos, Dave Filoni has been tasked with saving Star Wars from the clutches of the evil Darth Kathleen Kennedy and her band of Sith overlords. But has he succeeded? Well, so far it would seem that he has not. Let me explain why. I'll start with the fact that the show has long, drawn-out set pieces which don't add anything to the story, but only eat up valuable storytelling screen time. At times, the show is painfully slow. In another scene, Ahsoka is shown slowly walking toward clearly CGI set pieces which look like they've been designed by a C- graphic design high school student. I mean, seriously, has anyone else noticed a massive decline in the quality of CGI, not just in Star Wars, but also the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Now, we all know why CGI has declined massively in quality, but for the uninitiated, let me shed some light on the subject. When Disney bought both Star Wars and Marvel, they wanted to make a return on their investment and they wanted it as soon as possible. There was already a rich backlog of great stories written, but when they exhausted that, they needed to find new sources of revenue. Enter Disney Plus. Everyone was jumping into the streaming wars in a not so subtle attempt at replacing cable TV. Disney entered with a massive library of classic films and TV shows which they wanted to expand upon. But like a pig feeding on a trough, Disney wanted more and more. So they pushed a strategy that would see the release of at least one Star Wars and one Marvel show essentially per calendar quarter. They didn't let the audience take a breath. In order to make such an overpacked release schedule, they pushed their back-end workers to the brink, and quality suffered. Ahsoka proves that employee burnout is indeed real. But aside from bad CGI, how's the story of Ahsoka so far? Well, not great. Disney has proven time and time again for over a century its complete lack of originality. Even the classics such as Snow White, The Little Mermaid, and The Lion King, among many others, were recycled and revamped versions of literary classics such as the works of Hans Christian Andersen and William Shakespeare. But I'm not going to rag on the classics. They were at least well done and representative versions of great stories. What I am going to rag on is the sheer repetitiveness of stories within Star Wars. The new trilogy with Her Majesty Mary Sue Rey Skywalker all revolved around a secret bullshit map to find Luke Skywalker. This same magical bullshit MacGuffin is recycled once more in Ahsoka. Ugh! Can't they come up with an original story? So where is the latest in Disney's Star Wars map trope taking us to? Only to the location of Grand Admiral Thrawn, a beloved character from the Star Wars extended universe. It wasn't enough to banish this character out of canon. They are coming for him next. And of course, it'll be the all-female-led team that will put a stop to him. You'd figure this was a task left to stronger, more experienced characters such as Luke, Han, and Chewie, but you'd be wrong, because this is the Kathleen Kennedy-led Star Wars universe where the Force is female. This systematic subversion of male characters to prop up infallible female Mary Sues has been the modus operandi of Disney's version of Star Wars. I guess they're trying to appease their own corporate overlords over at BlackRock and increase their ESG scores. We all have to answer to somebody, I guess. But this is not what resonates with audiences. People with common sense know that men and women are meant to complement one another like pieces in a puzzle. One side cannot subjugate the other side. Men cannot subvert women just as much as women cannot subvert men. This sort of toxic feminism is being espoused by all segments of society now, and look what that has done to the fabric of society. Ahsoka is yet another example of what not to do, but they keep doing it. Part of what's caused this sorry state of entertainment has been bad writing. Ahsoka is the latest showcase of truly atrocious writing. Good writers such as Isaac Asimov, Frank Herbert, J.R.R. Tolkien, and J.K. Rowling all establish universes with specific rules, and they stick to these rules throughout their stories. Writers today don't seem to comprehend that you have to adhere to the rules that you yourself as an author set in motion. Within its first 3 episodes, Ahsoka completely does away with all the established rules set within the Star Wars universe. Which isn't Star Wars? Wrong genre and wrong universe, buddy. And it seems like you can just take a lightsaber to a torso and keep on surviving. Now, to be fair, this was sort of established in Episode 1 and the Star Wars cartoons when Darth Maul seemingly died but was resurrected. Same as Darth Sidious in the newest trilogy. Which, fine, fair enough, but there needs to be some degree of finality or totality in a story. Randomly resurrecting characters to fit into a story is lazy and, quite frankly, leads the audience to realize that deaths are meaningless since the character will just come back. This bad writing also shows that there is no consequence to anyone's actions. In the show, Ahsoka gives Ren a command which she promptly disobeys and seemingly pays for it with her life. But no, she's brought back because Disney is in the business of teaching terrible lessons. Command structures that have existed for millennia need to be subverted because this latest generation thinks it can do better. It's boring, it's lazy, but most of all, it's extremely narcissistic. I have no doubt in my mind that Ahsoka will continue Disney's destruction of the Star Wars universe and anything George Lucas. I'm sure that Thrawn will be written as a gutless buffoon that the all-female team will undoubtedly take down with ease because they're flawless girl bosses. But what do you make of all this? Do you think that Ahsoka will get help from male characters? Or will the Mary Sue win again? Please do let me know down below in the comments. And as always, make sure to leave a like and smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.